does it mean to be a balanced person? When you want to reach your goals, when you even want to set your goals, you have to know what is the best and shortest way to do it. You need to know, for example, why one person is successful doing a particular thing while another one is having trouble. Even if you have a method, a proven path, a system in your hands, and you know for sure that other people using this system are having success, you may very well go through all the steps and fail where others having success. Or you may not complete some steps, or something will come up and you will not be able to finish what you started for one reason or another. You know, there could be a million obstacles and hurdles if you want to find them. You probably have a lot of examples like this, either with your friends or classmates. Some guy who was a total goof and joke at school, and I'm talking about very much below smart, is suddenly a businessman and a very successful one, and lives a very happy life full of joy, and he is actually hiring his super smart geeky friends who are constantly complaining and are unhappy to work for him. How did that happen? Well, everybody said you need to study hard to have a chance in life. Yeah, well, he didn't. How is it that a total goofball is now better off than a rocket scientist? I'm definitely not the first one who will say that you are more than your physical body. I want to point out exactly what needs to be done and how to reach your goals and have happiness in your life. This is significant because even if you reach your goals, it doesn't necessarily mean you will ever be happy. I know I'm touching a very heavy subject here, but bear with me a little. I only want to go deeper into it from a practical point of view. Only enough for our purposes of understanding why something works for one person and doesn't for another. Each person has a lot of components inside him. It is a sort of superstructure with lots of parts touching each other and working together, or sometimes not, as the case may be. If you want to reach any goal, you will need to expand energy on that goal. And I'm not just talking about physical energy, like you need to go and do something with your hands and legs, regular stuff. The truth is, almost no goals are ever reached using just the physical energy alone. Of course, you need to perform some acts on the physical plane, but most of the work is done, or not done, as the case may be, much before that, and that is where the problem comes from. This is why, even if you repeat a successful person to the letter, you may not see the same fruit. Well, I would actually say, if you repeat somebody else to the letter, it is almost guaranteed that the same thing will not happen for you. Each one of us is unique, and whatever is good for one person is almost never good for another person. The way we see the world is very similar to a projector. There is a source of high-intensity white light that goes through a slide or a film that splits white into different colors and then projects it onto the screen. We split a neutral white light that contains everything as one into many different aspects, which this light passes through our superstructure I mentioned. We then reassemble all the separate colors back into what comes as a picture. Our objective reality is the slide. If this slide is very clean, there are no obstructions and no problems anywhere, you can reach your goals reasonably easy, and you live a happy and fulfilling life. However, in many cases it is not so. Our superstructure is not balanced. It is trapping part of the lights, it is splitting it into multiple colors, and the picture we obtain in front of our eyes is not clear. We are nervous, sometimes depressed, but there is almost always some undercurrent of deep unease in our life. We cannot formulate a clear picture of what we want, and it is very hard to reach our goals. We are usually trapped in an endless circle of mindless engagements that are repeating every day. We go to work, get back home, go to work again, home again. There are bills, chores, kids, and adults that need our attention. We seem to be trapped in this endless cycle and see no way out. That would be just half of a problem, but it's not everything. There is more. while white light itself is kind of self-correcting. What I mean is, when we split it into different colors and categorize it into this is white and this is black, this is good and this is evil, this is hot and this is cold, it tends to try to self-correct. It tries to get back into the full white spectrum again. So everywhere we put any limitations on it, anywhere we didn't accept that situation could be something different from what we have planned in our mind for ourselves, it tends to come out as problems for us. This is that light trying to get back into the way it was before. Full white spectrum that includes every possible shade and color inside of it, good and bad. This is also where the term karma may be coming from, but I think I'll leave it for another video. This is why, in order for us to get something we want in life, it is a good idea to balance our superstructure in such a way that it produces less resistance and less interference. Make our objections to a minimum and live constructively. The more we can do that, the better and happier life we would live. It will be easier for us and for everybody around us if we can accept the situation as it is much more. Accept, then act if we need to correct anything, but with time there will be much less need for correcting stuff and much more time for enjoyment. Our superstructure consists of physical body, obviously, energy, astral, mental, emotional, and some more higher bodies. They are not as tightly integrated as you might think. They are not one and the same thing, obviously, and not all of them are always active at all times. You have some control over them. For example, in your physical body, even if we talk about this one, you can control your hands and your legs. Less control over your nose, for example, and almost no control over your internal organs. They run on autopilot and you do not participate in their function directly. Same happens with other aspects of you. Some things you can control directly, some indirectly. Being balanced means bringing all parts of you into mutual cooperation so that they only help you and not interfere with you. For example, it is pretty obvious that to begin with we will need normal health and normal physical body. I'm not talking about having a six-pack and biceps like Conan the Barbarian. This is not normal as well. However, if we are too much overweight and your health is problematic, all your energy is spent fighting this and there is nothing left for anything else. Another example is your mental noise. This constant dialogue or monologue in our head. This is the voice we constantly hear in our head. Some hear two voices that are arguing. Imagine that. It is also not healthy. This is hyperactive mental portion talking. We will need to shut it down to a bare minimum. The principle here is to bring all the parts into optimal state for you. Keep in mind that each person's state will be individual and will be dependent on the inclinations and tendencies of your higher self. So we will bring all our parts into balance together gradually. You will have lots of energy in this stage, enough to spare for others and for yourself. You will become a much healthier and happier person. I will try to give you all the techniques that my friends and I tried. You will have to choose which ones will work for you, obviously, and what do you need to do and in which proportion and up to what degree. And that will definitely depend on you. That's about all I wanted to say in this video. I will definitely have some more videos in the future.